Flava TV.
Good evening and welcome to the Flava Football Show, live on Flava Radio and live on Flava TV. We're broadcasting live on the Copperbelt on 87.7, in Lusaka on 96.9 and Solwezi on 92.1. And you can also watch the show live using the Flava Radio and TV app. If you haven't downloaded it, go ahead and download it today. And you can watch the show. You can listen to it if you so wish. You can also watch the show live on Flava Radio and TV Facebook page. Be sure to smash that like button, share and share the show, and so that we spread the word that the Nkana Derby is being discussed today on the Flava Football Show, live on Flava Radio and TV. My name is Pius Mambo Jr. I'm your host on the show this evening. And before I introduce my panel, as usual, let me first of all wish to thank one of our sponsors, Latat Cafe, who's a big partner to the show, been partner to the show for over the last 2 years. They give us wonderful snacks on the show, keep our mouths and taste buds watered. And believe me, if you are looking for the best catering in town, go to Latat Cafe in Nkana East at Chisua's Emporium along Central Street. If you want catering for any kind of function, be it a kitchen party, wedding, corporate function, private party, you name it, go to Latat. You need any kind of meal prepared, from simple snacks, platters, to the exquisite gourmet meals, Latat is where to go. Okay, from Latat Cafe, let me introduce my panel in the studio. Other man Patrick Tembo, good evening and welcome to the program. Looking very smart. I like your blue suit. Very nice.
Thank you. Good evening, our players. Good evening, our dear viewers and listeners.
Yes.
Well, we enjoyed the game this afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, the other results also which panned out, we are going to discuss. But hey, like you pointed out, there's a Nkana Derby over the weekend.
Yeah.
So stick to your radio. There's quite a lot that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. And as usual, as per tradition, before I introduce my next guest, I also wish to greet my wife at home and say, good evening, my wife, and I know you're watching, and hope you enjoy the program as well.
Thanks for allowing me to stay out late.
And yes, thanks for allowing me to stay out late on Wednesday.
Especially for the last 14 years.
Yes. Mr. Vincent Chilekwa, he's one of our reliables here on the show, or should I say Coach Vincent. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Pius.
Yes.
Good evening to you. And also very much thankful, of course, to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for the gift of life and also for the gift of health. And we are grateful to be here on the show. And I would also like to say a very good evening to my wife. I know she's following, and she will allow me to stay up late over 90 minutes plus extra time. This is the UEFA Champions League show. And good evening to the wise men. It's always a humbling experience to knock shoulders with them, to tap from their wisdom and to analyze the game of football alongside them. And also good evening to our dear viewers and listeners. I think the show is jam-packed with a lot of exciting news about football, and they should look forward to it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Also, on the program, been missing for the last couple of weeks, but he's back wearing a beautiful Power Dynamos shirt. Oh, should I say we are both wearing beautiful Power Dynamos shirts? We should take a picture after this.
Definitely, yeah. Post on the Flava thing.
Yes, exactly. Mr.
One win after 4 games.
Win number 2 after 5 games after is 5. Coming on Saturday. Good evening, Mr. Arthur Luando, and welcome to the program.
Thanks, Mr. Mambo, and so it's a pleasure. Super blessed like always. Natasha Kawakashwandi, ni 0-1 from here kutamba bola.
Kutamba bola.
So na pula chama permission and viewers and critics alike.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always jam-packed. Others people appreciate what we're doing. Others will feel we're not doing enough, but we endeavor to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks to you, Pass, for hosting me. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that one. Just talking about Kutamba Bola, I don't know whether you watched the football last night. Yeah.
Dynamics.
You know, it's interesting watching that football at such a high level with a lot of goals. You know, I don't know whether you can you say in the analysis of removing the away goals rule, it's brought more goals? Because I mean, looking at the first the goal aggregate, Borussia Dortmund beat Atletico Madrid 5-4 on goal aggregate, and PSG beat Barcelona 6-4 on goal aggregate. Lots of goals.
Yes.
At that high level.
I think they did research, but removing away goals, it has brought excitement. I mean, the teams are now going for it.
Yeah.
Football is about goals. You know,
no more packing the bus.
Where you pack the bus, you already know if you do this, you get the result. Take that one out. Then imagine, I'm not trying to digress, but Copper Queens would not have qualified if the away goal thing was still there.
Yeah.
Because the Balkans scored 2.
Even against Ghana.
Even against Ghana, yes.
The away goal, should the away goal have stood, we would have been out.
Yeah. So, to me, I think it was a positive step.
Your thought on the away goal, Coach?
Yeah, I think...
should Africa now extend it to other, because it's there in the Olympic qualifiers, but should it be extended to other series, our AFCON qualifiers, CAF Champions League, and what are your thoughts? You've seen what's happening in Europe.
Yeah, perhaps it should be extended, though generally I think we cannot single out the away goal rule excitement of maybe why we are seeing more goals in matches. I feel there is generally, on a balance of equilibrium, we have seen a different shift in terms of tactical approach. You can see even the smaller teams now are closing in the gap between them and the bigger teams, and they are playing open football to go for it. I think we are able to see more exciting football regardless of which team is playing, which is playing any other team. Like recently we have seen, we witnessed Simba and Sundowns. A very tough game with with Yanga, and previously it was going to be a walkover for Sundowns, but you can see that now the gap is slowly closing.
The gap is closing.
Yes, and Borussia Dortmund went to Atletico, perhaps succumbed
I
to
didn't
the pressure.
think it was going to happen.
They come out with a 2-1 loss, go back to Germany. They also utilize their home ground advantage and go for it.
Yeah.
And perhaps it may even be the same tonight with Man City, 3-3 at Bernabeu. We don't know what is going to happen at the Etihad. So I think teams now are able to compete more with the bigger teams. I think they are slowly closing in terms of tactical approach, in terms of the quality of players that these teams are able to bring into it. And I think removing the away goal rule is just the icing on the cake. But I think generally the tactical approach has just changed from most of the teams.
Should we change? Yes or no? Africa?
Yeah, I mean, you follow suit. I mean, football must be won on merit. You should not create an unnatural advantage.
But me, I like away goal rule.
I'm a pressure.
No.
No, we know, but now Murusa. You've won, but you've lost. Now for
You won, but you celebrate.
Imagine you go. You remember Ghana, Nigeria. Ghana, Nigeria. It was 0-0 in Ghana, the World Cup qualifier. 0-0 in Ghana, and then 1-1 in Nigeria.
And then the team which
Ghana scored in Nigeria. So
why should one team go?
They've got to the World Cup
when they have drawn.
Yes.
They've worked hard. They've scored.
No.
It's not enough players. It's about winning.
And there, it was...
May the best team...
Nigeria missed chances and chances.
May the best team win. A draw is not
So
best.
you want to just outright win?
Outright win,
Outright
pass.
winner.
Outright.
You know, at the end of the day, a goal is a goal. It counts as one.
it
Whether you score it home ground or away from home, it's still a goal.
What should we do? 1.5 goals. So like in yesterday's game pass, I think probably we can talk about it a bit. For me, I've got a different view about the way for example Mbappe. In open play, in spite 11-11, he failed to shine. Did I cover red card? Of course, red card is also part of football. For me, that game, Barcelona was winning it any time, any day. The red card cost them a lot. Yeah, of course, football, you have to, you must take advantage, which exactly PSG did. But otherwise, on the balance of play, as in I think Barcelona was a better side.
Yeah, and you help but feel for the defender, because I think in that situation, would rather go for the red card or would rather concede the goal, because I think the red card completely took Barcelona off the game.
Yeah.
Because when you have the likes of Mbappe and you go a man down,
you see,
I
they'll punish you.
It really takes away something from you.
No matter how resilient you are.
And especially when you had a certain game plan, then it means you cannot stick to it. You have to re-strategize and use a tactic you did not initially plan, and it's a very difficult task when you have to play against individuals.
And if you look at the Barcelona players, they are a very youthful side.
Yeah.
So experienced sides.
Barcelona are just not tactically good.
No, they are.
We have seen teams with the 10 men putting up gallant fight.
But not against Mbappe.
You remember when we scored against Tanzania, we were 10. And then there is Power Dynamo.
That's the difference.
Power Dynamos. Power Dynamos. Against Musa.
No problem.
Played very good football in the second half when they were 10.
They played, and these guys look like they're 11 when I was watching.
But do you know why? It comes to the same thing. Power Dynamo is by far better side than Musa.
So they should know what to do. We are now 10. What is the strategy do we bring in? Which player do we bring in? What formation? So they are flat, which means that the one game plan.
Unfortunately, they were just outdone by individual brilliance. Because when you look at the attacking prowess that PSG have, they are more than enough even for a side that is complete. Now to go a man down does not help you in any way.
It's dangerous.
And now it puts Barcelona in an instance where they cannot afford to sit down. They have to open up and try and get a goal, and they're already disadvantaged because now they remain so vulnerable in the counter-attack.
So the comparison doesn't come into play fast because the levels are completely different. The individual brilliance like PSG to kill you any day.
What about tonight? What do we anticipate happening? Arsenal 2, Bayern 2, older man in Bayern in Munich. What are your thoughts?
Well, that Arsenal defense didn't give me confidence. And
But they've got a better defense than Bayern.
Yeah.
Oh, statistically.
Yeah, I know that, but I think Bayern will go through. I'm afraid Bayern will go through.
Well, coach?
For Arsenal, I think recently, I don't remember the last time they had a really bad game, maybe except with a few question marks when they played Aston Villa. But I think Arsenal will have a good game. It just merely depends on which Bayern is going to turn up, because Bayern have not been so consistent. But if Bayern come in full force and have a very good game, the truth is Arsenal don't stand a chance. But if Bayern do not remain consistent, I'm telling you, Arsenal are capable of beating any team right now. They can beat any team that does not show up. So it will basically depend on how Bayern turn up.
And
for me, pass. For Bayern the project is defunct. They are for the first time going to rebuild. For the first time, they're 13 points behind the leaders. For the first time in 100, Bayern Leverkusen has not won in 127 years. They've never won a trophy, a league in that long, or for over 100 years. The first trophy. So for Bayern, right now, they're in a rebuild stage, which they've never gone through in a really, really long time past. So Arsenal has got a slight advantage over Bayern. So they just need to capitalize on that. Bayern are at their worst right now. Now we are 2-2 draw. I don't even know what happened. For me, it was just there's an element of
going
luck.
forward, Bayern are very good, but defense. If they manage, I think if they manage to defend well, then they can stand a chance. Because scoring, they've got enough firepower to get the job done.
They can't fail to
But
score.
if they fail to defend well, it's just that
Because after against a team like Arsenal, the process is just overboard. It's very difficult to defend against Arsenal. It's very, very difficult.
and Kasaka troubled them.
Because anyone can score. Arsenal, anyone can score. You don't have to have a particular target. Anyone will score.
And lastly, I start with you, Arthur, again. Are we expecting a lot of goals in Man City, Real Madrid?
Yeah, but because
after that 2-2.
Because 3-3.
Sorry, the 3-3 rather.
Ancelotti does not lose twice. That's what the philosophers say. You cannot beat him twice. So that's a very big story. If the inevitable happens, it will change a lot of dynamics against him, because his record just sets it straight. He does not lose twice. The first game, alilusa kule ku final against Arsenal. They lost against Arsenal. Was that last year? The UEFA?
Last year, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Man
I'm
City?
sorry, Man City.
No, Man City.
Against Man City, sorry.
Man City.
They lost against Man City.
Yeah, it was. I think in Madrid it was 2-2, and they're 3-0.
3-0, yeah. So according to my philosophers, Ancelotti lose twice against the same side. So history must be rewritten. So for me, on paper, Madrid is a better side right now, and they want it much more. But of course, Man City, they'll turn up with different names and numbers, and you just get confused. The difference is you cannot plan against Man City. It's very difficult to plan against them, because they'll use 5 different players, and they'll still deliver. But for Madrid, you can tell 85% of who's going to play. For Man City, you can tell maybe 55%. That's the dynamics of our coach. That is my thought on Man City.
Man City, Real Madrid. Our coach.
Yeah, I'm really hoping Man City walk away with it, with a win. Though I think it is really important to see how Man City are going to contain the counter-attack, especially how they are going to control Vinicius Jr. If Man City do have Kyle Walker, I think they stand a better chance, because I think he's faster to contain Vinicius. But in the absence of Walker, that's if he has not recovered from his injury, I think it is going to be very, very difficult. But whichever way it goes, either a few goals or many goals, but it is a game that is going to be determined by fine margins. Looking at the goals that were scored in the first leg, I think they were beautiful, exceptional goals that you could really see that both teams have got really quality players. And I think this game, tactic for tactic, I think both coaches are really exceptional. But I think what is really going to decide this game, perhaps it may not come down to tactic, but perhaps to the individual brilliance of both players, of both sets of players. It will either be Foden for Man City or De Bruyne or Haaland, or perhaps on the other side it will be the likes of Rodri, Vinicius and these others. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. Okay. Ottoman, finally.
Let's not waste time. Man City will win. Period.
Let's not waste time.
Don't even waste time. There's nothing like, oh, this Man City are winning. It's their time. Buana, that team is at another level now. You know, the understanding between the coach and the players is high class.
We
You
expect
just
them
tell
to
them
play on the
do 1,
counter.
2, 3, and
Real
then-
But
Madrid-
man, you know what's going to happen? If that happens, Madrid will fire the coach.
Yeah, I think Madrid have been struggling also in the league. You've seen, they are not doing so well.
But they're in control.
I know,
7
but it's
points,
not the Madrid that we know, which has been punishing teams, taking the Barcelona to the wire. I know they have won more cups than any other, but this time round, Man City is just at another level. I don't like Man City, by the way, but let's face it, it's just something else.
Yeah. If they end the way if they start the way they ended the game, it might go Man City's way because they let Man City control.
Exactly.
Especially that last 20 minutes, Man City was in charge.
Just speaking it.
Yeah. But Madrid can beat anybody.
Any day.
Any day. So that one will be quite
They were home. That was their time. One. This time they're in England, in case you were forgetting.
Yeah, no, we shall see how that happens. Let me just touch, run through a couple African fixtures. We've got big fixtures in the CAF Champions League. Just before I open messages, Alderman, Tipi Mazembe, Al Ali, Saturday, 15 hours.
Well, I'm afraid it may go to our Ali. Tip Mazembe are rebuilding. They are trying to bring back the squad which they had a couple of years ago. When we called them TP Mazambia, when they won the trophy 4 or 5 times, they're in the rebuilding process. I don't think they can challenge our Ali at the moment.
They can't challenge Al Ali at the moment.
Doubt.
Esperance, Mamelodi Sundowns. What are your thoughts? Ottoman?
Oh, still me. Mamelodi Sundowns didn't win convincingly. There are a lot of questions.
Yanga took them right to the wire.
Took them to the wire. I don't know what's happening. Maybe they've played too much football.
Yanga has just become better.
Yeah, Yanga.
That's not that Mamelodi has become worse.
But I still give it to
Yanga has become
Yeah,
better.
but I still give it to Mamelodi.
Mamelodi?
Yeah.
Okay. And the 2 fixtures. TP Mazembe, this is Al Ali.
I think Ewali with their own water, food, and these other things.
Something in the water.
But the water didn't work for Morocco.
So they will take it to DRC. The water didn't work for?
Morocco. They came with their own plane, their own water, their own food, but they still lost to Zambia.
Yeah, I think Ewali might just Egypt. And then on the other side, I still side with my older man. I think Sundowns can just have enough for Esperance.
Okay. And
Onward.
the other games they are both games. I've given TP Mazembe Al Ali's 15 hours Saturday, and Esperance Mamelodi Sundowns is 21 hours Saturday. Give me your thoughts, Arthur.
No.
Before
If you
I
look
open
at
up messages.
if you look at Mamelodi Sundowns past, they've done their homework. They've invested.
Yeah.
And they're the real deal. And that project pass, it will take quite a while to actually drain, because the projection pass is serious. If you look at the technical bench, bench, just a technical system here. It's they're solid pass, and that project, it will take another 5 to 10 years before it can start dwindling. The investment is just massive, and they're bringing in money. For as long as they're winning trophies, pass, the glory will continue. Yeah. So for TP Mazembe, seemingly, I mean, they got there, then they forgot to reinvest, and they are paying the price, pass. So we can't count them anymore. To take us time for us to start reflecting on TP again. For now, they're forgotten.
But they're not far. They're in the semi-finals of.
No, they are past. Those days you'd know TP Mazembe will play the final. It was not even questionable. It was straightforward. You know, final TP Mazembe with Al Ali or whatever. TP Mazembe was already there even before they got there. But now it's questionable. They may not. Yeah, if they get lucky, now it's about luck now.
Yeah.
If they get lucky, they'll get there. But before, it was just automatic. You know, when you're up against TP, it's in 4-0-5-0.
Okay. Very quickly, Zamalek versus Dreams United of Ghana. That's a Confederations Cup semi-finals.
I think I would like to see Zamalek retain their glory again, perhaps. It's long overdue for them to get to the semi-finals, meaning at least they've recovered from their dream days.
Yeah.
It's sad to have seen them go into oblivion for so long, and to play CAF semi-final. It's a bonus for them. Yeah. Very big bonus, actually.
So, for those interested, that game is 18 hours Sunday. Zamalek versus Dreams. And then, Coach, USM Alger versus RSB Berkane, Algeria versus Morocco. 21 hours Sunday. Your thoughts?
I think the home team might be slightly aged, but it's a very tough fixture.
The same football.
They know each other very well.
Same concept.
They're neighbors. So I think it will be a game with a lot of mind games. But I think it is a fixture that is decided by the first leg. Whoever edges it, I think, carries a very huge advantage.
And here there's away goals. So, other man USM Alger versus Berkane.
Berkane will win.
Berkane?
No doubt.
The series? You mean the series, and they will go through?
They are going through.
They are going through.
Berkane will win.
So, in other words, you are saying it's Zamalek versus Berkane in the final.
In the final, yeah.
Okay.
Tough one, actually. Interesting.
Quite tough.
The older man has prophesied.
That's exactly
New
what
Octopus.
happened.
The new Octopus.
Let me touch a few messages before we go into news of the day. Good evening, Mr. Mambo, and the soccer pundits will share who's the highest paid Zambian coach, highest paid player in the Super League, and best holding midfield. Okay, I lost that message. How did it disappear? Let me just take knowledge. Okay, I think it's coming back. Hold on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, it's back. You can note these questions, Alderman. Highest paid Zambian coach, highest paid player in the Super League, best holding midfielder. The biggest problem we have at Zesco is that we have too many former international players who are not adding any value to the team. Rwanda Mina Nafidwa. Zegabambo is a big team. We deserve more, and not taka we are seeing. For sure, Klopp, he's out of energy, and I'm happy he will be leaving at the end of the season. Pantu, what happened over the weekend? Awe, Tefintu. Pep, he has changed EPL. But Charlie, I need a Liverpool jersey. I'll have a something. Call me. We are Liverpool, the only English team to win 6 Champions League titles. KB Bankanized. Did you see the goal scored against Liverpool? I was really just saying, yeah, 45 passes. I hope they're watching.
But I don't understand how Crystal Palace couldn't score more than 1 goal. Because
it's like they were ball watching the Liverpool defense.
Well, that was a well worked out goal.
Yeah. Good evening, and how are you doing, panel? As Puff Power Dynamos, we have remained with only hope this season as second best. Let's keep pushing until we close the line. And please, panel, any updates from the UTH? How is Flava doing at the moment? I wish him a quick recovery. Titus Mwamba from Mindolo. Evening, Pius and the wise men. But Pius, beyond rivalry, Nkana, we can learn on how power manages football. Look recently, the players who've made it: Mwepu, Patson, Lubambo, Mova, Kennedy Msonda, Larry Benson. Then look at the national team. Lately, Lawrence Mulambia, Joshua, you agree with me. Power has hugely contributed to the development of football in Zambia. While Pius, with the support Zesco get from the management, they should be competing for 4 major honors, local and in CAF. To me, that's a failed project. A second slot and being ejected by a lower team in Absa Cup. That's a mockery. Nash Kawuya Ndeke Changa Changa. Good evening, Nash. I saw your message. Good evening, Mr. Pies. I never had a chance to watch the Copper Queens versus Morocco second leg live. I watched a repeat. I have come to conclude Mr. Bruce has done his part. We need a tactical coach for now. We are tired of watching Chidunu kind of football. Our strikers up front will be getting tired chasing balls. This is Sandra in Muflira, Manchester United. Nisem Namaite. Poor finishing. Okay. This one says, good evening, the panelists. Enjoying the show. Patrice Motsepe is destroying the beautiful game of football. Zesco is now an average team. Big up to Musa for beating Power Dynamos. Kwa Robert, Kwa Talala. Nkana, my team, best ever forever. We are waiting for the derby. Yanga was robbed by Sundowns, and I don't even know if VAR is really helping to improve the game of football. This is El Sutra Ben Salam Walter Walia Muselepete Alderman Salam Muchofe from Kabulonga Malata Market, Lusaka.
I don't agree with him.
So no, just
I watched that repeat. You know, it was discussed even on Soccer Africa. They brought the repeat, they brought experts. Don't be emotional, you people. Just because Motsepe is the president of Sundowns, you already just take things like that. I mean, we can't play football like that.
Yeah.
That ball did not cross the line. And I'm talking as a referee.
Yeah.
The ball simply, the whole of the circumference of the ball simply did not cross
the line.
Let's not be emotional about this.
Yeah. Evening, gentlemen. So since Faz is the one who suggested that the Power versus Nkana game should be at Mwanawasa Stadium, my question is, who has paid for the stadium? Is it Power or Faz? I'm Isaac Mwamba from Luansha. I'm pretty sure it's Power Dynamo.
No, Power. Faz has got no control where you play from. It's a prerogative of power dynamos. They're trying to use the derby as run it as a business. I think even Nkana should look at that model. You take advantage of the numbers and trying to make some money off that. It's a model. Now they're just trying it out, and it makes an extra 2 kwacha. So you do it again. So for even personally, I feel even Nkana should, because all the time if one's feel sula, kunkana kule sula, na kupara kule sula. So how do you take advantage of a derby? Take it away. The stadium is bigger and see how. For reaction, eventually, you can book within the next couple of years to come.
Yeah.
So in short, it's power who are paying for the stadium.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with power. Power is going to be
straightforward.
They'll collect all the gate.
They'll collect all the gate takings.
Tulibonse kubola. Tulibonse kabola. Nine Morris Samoa Hila kukitwe usakile. Thank you, Morris. Good evening. Bazesko twapapata posen nkamano. This is Abel. Zesco fans today are vented. How are you, panel? Who manages the ZPL, which does not attract any sponsors apart from MTN, because there is no way a cup having more money than the league. Otherwise, Kamanga and his team must wake up. I'm Winston in Ndola. Thank you for Winston. Good evening, Papias ala twatotela big man Nkana wawina kolelo. But power katwish. Go Zesco go. Benson Pakalulushi, my big man customer Papias. I was there. It's yesterday. Balwando Batembo Navasa, please, naimwe I muleisa kukamatipa mukutambako bola. Muleisa kukamatipa mukutambako bola from Nkana supporter. Good evening, football doctors. Wusheva ZNBC. Why? Taba why Tabatambisha Absa Cup from Smith, upcoming councillor Kukamatipa. Thank you, Smith. Good evening, original soccer analyst Papias Wadani. Allah ba Alderman Tembo Bachalina Arthur. How are you doing, Papias? How far with the rehabilitation of Levi Mwanawasa and Heroes Stadium, because AFCON and World Cup qualifiers are counting down of the Kitwe Derby. This is Pasco Chanda, PC International, Chelsea and Zesco United supporter. The other man is going to answer that question for you. And we are going to inspect on Saturday.
Yeah, if we want to go there, that's what we are doing.
Yes. Good evening, football gurus. I'm wishing a quick recovery to our most decorated footballer in Zambia, Rainford Calabar. I have a question. What is the difference between a coach and a manager? Iso Chama from Lusaka. If you can note that one, older man. Yes, that's a good candidate to answer. Good evening, Flava FM. I hope the panel is fine.
Yes.
The loss for Zesco, we blame the technical bench because they can't bench Kambole, Junior, and Chikiandu.
Chingandu.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Chingandu. Because these are starters for Zesco, but they were on the bench and we underrated Brave with this performance. We can't win the league. Ali Nyerenda, Zegamambo, Manu for life. Lusaka. Okay. As soccer fans, for Kansanshi Dynamos, we want the entire technical bench to resign. Kaishala Lazarus from Solwezi. Almost done. Evening football people. How are you doing? Let me talk about Liverpool and Arsenal. It was very shameful for both teams losing points at their home grounds. And in Zambia, the big game of the weekend, Power. The big game of the week, Power and Nkana. It can go either way or draw. Chola and Kalamo. This one is not going to be a draw, Chola. It's only going one way.
One way only.
I'm a PDFC fan, but the truth is that Musa Likulu, Alex Hamwata Zamtan. Okay. Alderman, let me give you a chance. First, let's look at matters arising from text messages, then we go into other news.
Well, highest paid coach, we don't discuss personal emoluments.
They don't release them.
They don't release
And they are
them,
not. There is no obligation in Zambia. In the EPL, they must release.
So we should
here.
We should follow what we do here.
Yes.
Okay. But I know, of course, I've done my own research, but it's not for radio. So that's the answer. Best holding midfielder. This is subjective. The best holding midfielder to me may not be the best holding midfielder Kuliwa Pius or our coach. But to tell you the truth, we are thin on the ground in as far as holding midfielders because of neglecting grassroots football. We're going to talk about it. I'm happy there's something coming, which the minister clinched with Anako. Yeah. Now, the last time we had the proper holding midfielder was Chansa, 2012. You can imagine from that time we had no
Nathan.
Yeah, alongside
Nathan.
Nathan.
Alongside Nathan, they were together. So from that time,
Francis Kasonde did a good job,
not as
consistent. But when Nathan came, he made that position his own.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
Francis got injured along the way, so his career was slightly disturbed.
Yeah. So we are thin on the ground in as far as that position was concerned. I was discussing it with Jericho Shinde and the Amaritori the other time. Yeah, we are really thin on the ground. We are discussing the national team and positions. And the ball at number 6. So we had a lot of competition on that position in the past, but not anymore. That's why
is it easy?
That's why in the national team we keep chopping and changing. Kapumbu tries is out.
Can we say Miguel is now
Miguel
the real deal.
Now the one.
That's the real deal.
Taking over.
But it's taken a while.
It's taken a while.
If he can also be consistent, because
now
when Benson came, remember when Benson came, we said, okay, Chapwa, we found our number 6.
For the club, yes, not there. It takes certain qualities. It's just natural. You need to be versatile. You need to be intelligent. You need to know how to position yourself. You need to know how to protect the goalkeeper. You need to know when to attack. It involves quite a lot.
You have to know how to kick.
Yes.
How to create
controlling of the ball and so on. So, because we have killed grassroots football, we have makeshifts now, and we're not getting what we want.
Coach, what is your perspective on the number 6? Is it easy to make a number 6? Do you convert a number 6? What are you looking for? You who has coached a number of teams, what are you looking for in that position, and how important is that position?
Well, I think it's a very important position that you cannot do away with, because you need someone to be very intelligent, and somebody must be so comfortable on the ball, and should also be a very good game reader, because when you are attacking, the number 6 controls the intensity at which you attack, and then when you are defending, because sometimes if you're using wide wingers, you may need the number 6 to drop into that role
to cover.
But regardless of how you look at it, how you build your team around this defensive holding midfielder really matters. Because however good they can be, they cannot thrive alone. So meaning you need to look for the right players that are going to complement him in attack, and also you need to look for you need to have the right defense that are going to help this holding midfielder thrive and play to his strengths. Because normally football cannot just be decided based on one position. Because you remember, this time around, we have moved away from just looking at football into a perspective of just a position or numbers. This time around, each position is looked into a perspective of a role. That is why if you've seen, as usual, I like to give references to Man City, Rodri, holding midfielder, but sometimes you find him in the 18-yard and gets the winning goal for the team. So meaning he is a holding midfielder, but he is not going to be all the time in that holding role. Sometimes he may have to shift out of position a little bit. But when he is out of position a little bit, how comfortable is he when he's out of position? And how comfortable is the player who's coming to fill in that void? Because it is more like a circle. You switch positions, another player is coming in. So it generally demands for a whole team to understand their roles. And once the team understands their roles, it makes it so much easier for any role to thrive. You can have a good holding midfielder, but a bad goalkeeper, and you can still get punished.
Okay. Is it easy to make a number 6, or it's easier to make other positions like striker, number 4, wingers? Is it easy to place? Is it easy to find that person?
Depending on the quality of players that you have, because players have got different attributes, but it is a position that requires one to be schooled from a tender age.
Exactly.
And I agree with Waderman when he says that once we neglect grassroots football, it is going to be so difficult for us to find a holding midfielder who is going to complete, who is going to meet the modern day demands. Because a number 6 role this time around cannot be the same as compared to 20 years or 10 years ago. So meaning we have to start at a tender age, give them the right information, and through that process, it gives the coaches enough time to assess if a player is really fit for that role. But to come and convert a player at adult stage to turn them into a very good holding midfielder, chances are almost zero. Otherwise, that player maybe has to have maybe the capabilities of Messi and the likes. But it is a very delicate role which needs someone to be schooled right from the academy going upwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other one, he was talking about update on Flava. Well, he's responding now. He's stable according to the latest response that we are given. Okay, I have my own perspective of the difference between a coach and a manager. I know we have a coach in here who is going to come in. Now, perhaps it depends on where you are. You get a point.
If you're in Europe,
If you're in Europe,
it's a manager.
it's a manager who does the coaching. Is in charge of the technical bench. Is referred to as a manager. Okay, they also call him manager because he has slightly more responsibility. He does a bit of administration also.
Yes.
This one is not someone you can push around. You can't write a note and say, "Finyepo number 6 mubige." You can't do that to a manager. Okay? Because I know how Manu is organized, for instance. Ferguson could just maybe come in to make a team. He had the coaches, preparing the team and so on. He now just comes there, looks at them, how fit are they? Okay, this one will play. So a manager may just come in and just make a team.
Yeah.
You know? But a coach, the outside Europe, this is the one who is in charge of the technical bench. He's responsible, he prepares the team, is in charge of the technical bench. He makes the last decision.
Coach Toffen kwenye shishi.
Coach.
No, precisely. Precisely just as
administrative abilities.
Roderman has put it. Normally a manager does have He has the role of the coach, but he also has administrative duties also assigned to him. Though perhaps that is not the case here in Zambian context, because Zambian context they usually have the team manager, maybe who's going to look into these other affairs like transport, logistics, and these other things. Yeah, and for the coach, maybe just depending on which level. For youth level, probably the coach is in charge of development of the players, whereas maybe at the elite stage is in charge of making sure that the team wins at all costs. Yeah, failure to which you end up losing your job. But normally the manager, we have seen it in Europe. Here, I've not seen it. I've not seen it. Yeah, I've not seen it.
Yeah.
We only have a team manager who looks at where the team will sleep, what they will eat.
The jersey,
you know, is usually a junior officer, isn't it?
Yeah. So
he's under the coach.
More logistics. And
Even player welfare.
So they just
Maybe
work hand in
also.
hand with the manager.
Yeah.
Also with the coach.
And usually these don't get fired. They can be there even for
100
Yes.
100 years.
They've seen coaches come and go.
Yeah. But slowly Zambia is catching up, Arthur, won't you say so, with regards to more coaches to technical benches, attacking coach, defensive, set piece, goalkeepers.
Yeah.
We're not far behind.
Yeah, you know what's making this situation improve slightly? We are slightly embracing the third coach. The employed coach comes in with his team. That is what brings development powers. That affects team play at the end of the day. That's why Europe, it's a must. You fire Klopp, he goes with 100% team, no matter how good that person was. So not only Saudi, now what else technical team yako. When I won't say all those things are in place. Why we've left behind so much in African football is because we like to combine the old wine and the new wine. Yeah.
That's why we were upset as Man U fans when David Moyes decided to get rid of some of the key members of Sir Alex Ferguson's staff. And he brought his own people and it went straight into failure.
Straight.
We've been saying like Rene Molenstein and some of those people, no, they should have stayed.
The
You
time.
can argue that it was not given enough time, though you can argue that it was not given.
And it was not supported after making that decision of time. Some people had to make sure they see him fail to justify it.
But anyway, in his defense, he came in at a moment where our success at Manchester United was at the highest height. And then you take over.
The shoes were too big to be
The
filled.
shoes were huge.
And the project was done. If you listen to Rooney and the pass, he made the serious comment on the club. And he was condemned. But this is 10 years down the line and nothing has changed. The biggest win for Manchester is a game against Liverpool. It's as good as winning the UEFA.
Yeah. Other man, lead us.
Well, not so much this week, Papas. Let's just share 5 items. The first one is exciting. I'd hinted about it. The Ministry of Sport has signed a memorandum with the Zanaco, who are going to sponsor under-17 football in schools, to involve almost all schools. This is a very good initiative, but I've said it time and again, that let's get back to sustainable youth development program, which was there in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and so on. You don't need money. You don't need a sponsor for you to play football in schools. I'm talking from a headmaster's perspective and the sports master for that matter. Because I've been hearing, the minister is looking for money, they're looking for sponsors, they are looking for to sign a memorandum, Faz is signing a memorandum. Come on. The late Monawasa simply wrote us, all head teachers, letters. This, on such a date, let league games start. I want to see all kids in football pitches, doing athletics, netball, volleyball, ball games. There was emphasis. Unfortunately, you see, before the whole thing could take off, he died. It just takes political will. This program, which has been clinched, is welcome, but for how long will it be sustained? For how long will it be sustained? So let us just order schools to start playing football week in, week out, away, home. It's as simple as all that. The grant which the government gives the schools has a component for sports. All you need is just buy balls and set of jerseys. The kids will be ready to go. These are the same children who volunteer to go to academies where they are given nothing. So certainly we have this belief now that we are not going to play football in primary schools until there's a sponsor. Come on, we don't do that.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no need. Besides, this time round, the schools are quite close to each other. You can imagine, I was a sports master. I had to bring kids from Kamfinsa Primary School to Chamboli. We were the only school there, and these other schools had to come over there. And you can imagine, I was bringing kids almost every other week. But this time around, there are a number of other schools around that same area. Mm. And I may not even need the transport. Maybe just a question of 30 minutes walk. So it's the will. We've been talking about this, number 6, number what, even number 8. From the time Charles Msonda left, gentlemen, let's face it. So only Mwepo was trying to, to replicate what you and I were seeing. Yeah? You and I who saw that talent, Willy Piri. You can't be happy with what you see.
Debbie Makinka.
Debbie Makinka.
Martha Shua.
Yeah.
And we even know the reason. It's because
Dominic Mutari.
Kaburubu is running, but the boy he has stuck to his
between the legs.
How are you ever going to see that? It doesn't come by accident. The coach Bachiranda develop the skills when the kids are young. And let them play frequently. This thing of teachers drinking beer over the weekend, there's like a tournament, 4 days. You are not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. And this will involve under 17. But the technical abilities of a player are developed at age 10.
That's late.
Which means that this is a bit late.
Yeah.
So to me, there is no excitement about this. It's good at least. But there is no excitement. Let us order the head teachers to bring back schools football. How I wished I was in charge. I've been talking passionately about this for.
And what is the composition of that same sponsorship pass? What do they bring? What is Zanaco bringing to the table?
Well, they'll bring cash to help the schools in mobilizing.
Pass. We don't like a bad one is saying. We just need a deliberate policy by government to say, okay, out there in bola. Or if Zanaco is interested in supporting, they just buy more balls, more jerseys for the schools. That's all.
And supplement. There is a CAF program also which is involving about 600 schools. So now head teachers will just be waiting. If the CAF program goes and Zanaco goes, it's back to default settings.
Yes. No football.
Where they've given the schools to taverns, whatever. That shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. I think it's very important. The first thing that we need to identify if we are to run this program successfully is to identify the right people who are going to spearhead these programs so that there is a clear roadmap on where we intend to start and where we want to end and and what we want to achieve at the end of the day. You are there, you have been there, and I think you should be one of the people placed in the forefront so that you show others how it used to be done previously, because it is not just enough for these for the under 17 to play week in, week out, but it is also to ensure that as they play week in, week out, do we have enough resources to ensure that that talent is tapped. There's someone really watching these games to ensure that this talent is truly nurtured into what we want it to be. Because if it just ends in playing, then at the end of the day, it will just be like that. There should be a clear, deliberate motive of what we want to do and what we are looking for. That is what is going to help us in the long run. Because when we don't have a plan, we'll have it for 6 months, a year, and it dies a natural death.
Yeah. As we wind up, I always have a lot of passion on this. Sorry, but
No,
Coca-Cola came in. They sponsored, they went into rural areas. They brought players who even played for the national team. They just went around and they said that to this tournament, Kumongu, Chipata, what. We had about 7 players from that arrangement who ended up playing for the national team. It shows that we have the talent, but it's the attitude.
Yeah.
You know, it's the attitude. So if there can be political will to go back to the schools, you don't need funding. Buy balls for netball, volleyball, football, and then let them play week in, week out. Simple as all that.
Pass, if you look at it's coming from an education background. It are general maintenance per school. Does the school need money? So that effect Wednesday.
Come with the slasher.
Come with a slasher.
Finished.
What money has been spent? Meantime, the school is clean.
But these days, you want to hold human rights. See, why should I bring a slasher? Why can't they employ a casual?
So just general policy. Every Thursday and Friday, football 14 hours. Bonse. Netball, basketball. Chap, it's a row. And schools, there's a lot of discipline in schools.
I remember one time, Libala Secondary School was playing Kamwala. I won't forget that. It was serious derby. All the parents came to watch. It was to be proper derby, and Chambulo and the other guys. We were watching football those days. Kabulonga Secondary School versus Matero. That's where almost all the players came from Nkwazi, for Green Buffaloes, for almost all the Super League teams in Lusaka.
Yes.
But for someone to just see that go like that and we're just observing. And then you start crying. I was seated with the Avram Grant a few weeks after he came. He had the notebook. What about that player? I said, it's foreigner. What this one? Foreigner. All the players that he was trying to, it's because we have neglected grassroots football. Forget about tournaments. They will not get anything. You should test the kid. When you look at how the child is playing away, let them get intimidated. Let them get used to that hostile environment there. Let them play at home. And then you start observing the weaknesses, and then you say, you didn't do well on this one. Next, you should do this. Can you do that and when you have a tournament with 4 days, and then it will happen again after 5 months?
Yeah. No,
For that, we are jokers. So we keep singing, but we don't see anything. We just hear, memorandum. Next, there is Zanako coming. You don't need Zanako.
And that's just reminding me when at secondary school, and our secondary school there, you can think at today Makadi, shine, then you go and play Chamboli.
Yeah.
Kitwe boys, they used to trouble.
Yes. In front of your girls, you start crying.
I'm telling you. People who you think are very talented, then they meet the real talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the clubs were busy also. You might you're struggling for a player. But it's not anymore. That's why we have one player finishing almost 17 clubs in 3 seasons. So anyway, that's what will happen. Zanaco have come up with that. It's good, but that's just what the schools to start. Yeah. So then the Copper Queens, we delved into Copper Queens. There is more attention now to the Copper Queens, you know. So we had to look at how are we, why is it that we have been doing so well. So we had to look at the profile now is grown for Copper Queens Pius. We have 17 players playing their trade outside Zambia. That is very good. Eh? The league, some may not have big leagues, but this is a very good move. Yeah, so that's why we have at least closed the gap. And
I must say, it's one side which wasn't there in the past. I'm very encouraged the way, like, the last 2 games at Levi Mwanawasa, the way people have come to support the girls.
That's
people
very
have
good.
come in numbers.
To support, yes. That's what should happen.
Which is fantastic.
So, Barbara Banda is playing for Orlando Pride in the USA. Second most expensive player.
In the world.
Rachel Kundananji is playing for Bay FC. I saw her play this weekend. She was given 90 minutes.
Yes.
She's in the USA as well. She's the most expensive player. Grace Chanda is playing for Madrid CFF in Spain. Helen Mwanga, he is playing for Zaragoza CFCC in Spain also. Prisca Chirufia is playing for Juarez FC in Mexico. Siomala Mapepa is playing for Galatasaray in Turkey. Misozi Zuru is playing for Hakariguku Spa in Turkey. Irene Lungu is playing for Biuk Shamkent, Kazakhstan. Helen Chanda is also playing for Akariguku in Akariguku Sport in Turkey. Rachel Nachula is playing for Hapoel Jerusalem in Israel. Martha Tembo is playing for Biuk Shamkent in Kazakhstan. Catherine Msonda is playing for Hapoel Ranana in Israel. Margaret Berem is playing for Shanghai Shengli, China, and is about to move. Natasha Whitaker is playing for Bayelsa Queens of Nigeria. Mary Mbewe is playing for Yanga Princess, Tanzania. Also we have one. Then we have Agnes Fabiola Banda. This is the keeper people have been crying for. TP Mazembe, DRC. And then we have Lisho Momwemba, Pauline Zulu, and Avio Chitundu about to sign deals for Europe. So
we need our back 4 in Europe.
Yes.
That one is key.
Is key.
We need our.
So how many do we have? USA is good league. USA is good league. Spain is Europe. Spain is Europe. Mexico is not Europe.
No,
but these are good leagues.
Central America, Turkey is Europe.
Turkey is Europe. Turkey is Europe.
Kazakhstan.
So we're not bad.
Not bad. Israel is Europe.
Yeah, Israel is Europe. You know, so at least for a start, we can say that's good. That's why we're not winning by accident, by the way. He deliberately brought that.
Yeah.
To say we can make a team from number 1 to 11 with all foreign-based players. Our under-17 national team, Pius, will play against Uganda. Remember, we beat Tanzania convincingly. Yeah, it's AFCON. They will play against Uganda on 12th May 2024. A very good collection of lads, I must say. Except we always find difficulties in keeping them together and keeping them busy. Yeah. Albert Kachinga has been unveiled as technical advisor at Ndola United. He's been on the move. Eh? This time he has left his colleague, Joseph Musonda.
I think now he's tired now.
He's tired.
He's tired. It's the evening of his career. So
yeah, he's also, yeah. So, Albert Kaching, after being released by
prison and what?
Trident.
Trident as well.
Yeah, he left prison, then went to Trident, and then.
Well, wish him all the best, by the way.
Yeah, let's wish him the best because Ndola United have an ambition.
They are rebuilding.
They're actually on top of the Division 1 league provincial.
But we only pray he doesn't go there to disturb the coach who's there.
Well, it depends on what he has been
hope
taught.
he's not there to.
It depends on the mandate.
Depends on the
because
mandate.
usually, if you're a technical director, before you know it, the coach will be fired and he's going to take over.
Depends on the mandate.
Mandate depends on what they have
No,
taught.
I think for Ndola United, I think when Kochino Kusakala left for Zesco Malite, they didn't come out in the open to introduce their new head coach. I think whoever was on the technical bench was standing in as interim. So now, I think with the coming in of Coach Albert, I think they have got clearly defined roles. In as much as Coach Albert, I think he has been on the move, but I think he's a seasoned coach.
He's a Ndola man, by the way.
Yeah, and
So he's just back home.
yeah, and I think he understands the dynamics of his appointments. I'm sure before accepting the appointment, there was something that was discussed. But hopefully, it doesn't turn out as other.
Yeah,
suggestions.
it ends up like that mostly.
I thought you were from a technical.
Out of home.
And on a lighter note, Ndola United, it's a big team with lots of history.
Yes.
The
But Mugabe,
the social media picture which they used to
the first
unveil,
one. The first one.
unveil
In a
Albert
garden.
Kachinga, like in a vegetable garden.
Come on.
They have got an image.
We can do
they could
better.
have gone in front of Protea Hotel.
Yes.
Or something.
in an office or
In an
something.
office. But
We can do better.
Vegetable garden.
Ndola what say like cancel.
But pass, that shows you people someone.
Even at the entrance of the council, it's
Yes.
Ndola City Council.
I mean, I was shocked. you
Our
know.
guys,
You are
they
very-
are not being
And
serious.
Albert is a very high profile coach.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
coach.
no,
Even
small
just the way he
coach.
was touching,
No, he's
he was
not a
just
small
alone. Now we can even show Luse. Even the Kajes they got as well.
I was saying more about
I thought I
But
was
we
saying,
wish Ndola
he's a
United-
seasoned man.
But we wish Ndola United well. They
Yes.
are leaders
No, they are-
in the provincial league. They want to go and play playoffs in Lusaka. And remember, playoffs this time were sponsored. It's 100,000. Whoever wins the league. So there's everything to play for. Whoever wins the league, there's 100,000. There's a sponsor there. And then they will take care of their expenses when they go for playoffs in Lusaka.
Wow, that's good news.
Yes.
Because that is how Ron suffered. Huh?
Exactly.
Ron could have actually qualified and made it, but they had issues of sponsorship.
Logistical and so on. Yeah, so Ndola United want to come to this national league. So Polo star Lamek Banda, there's some bad news here. He's likely to miss the June 3 game against Morocco. Is to undergo ankle surgery. You know, it takes a bit of time to recover.
And I saw this game where he got injured. I tuned in at. I was late tuning into the game. I tuned in at halftime, so I saw on the lineup that okay, he's inside. So when then I saw the substitution. So I saw him walking from down the tunnel, and he was limping. I was like, then he must have been injured in the game, because I was like, no, he's not going out on the pitch. No, I saw him now. It's like in a changed shirt, but he was clearly limping. So definitely that was 2 weeks ago.
He has to go under a knife.
Yeah.
And that will keep him away. The minimum is 6 weeks.
Even 8.
We've got a lot of work to do. I was following,
And the minus him.
some of the
It's a
boys
big blow.
are going also through ups and downs. Like Emmanuel Banda, I checked, he wasn't even on the bench
You can see.
for his team. At least Patson is getting game time.
Oh, Patson,
At least that spell where he was being left out, at least I think it's under the bridge. At least him, he's, I think, 60% starting every game.
It's okay. It's okay.
Which is okay. At least if it doesn't start, he will come in as a substitute, you know. So that's some of our key players now. Lamek is
So it's
injured.
a big blow to Lamek.
So
I mean, to us.
Claytus is getting a lot of football. So naturally, I think he might have to come in. Then Fashion, I'm sure he'll be called back. He's
been scoring.
He's getting game time. Then who did I want to add?
But the younger man
yes, the younger man
gone down.
Yes, I meant, but at least he's playing, but maybe just the goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that is because of neglecting grassroots football. We used to have 4 people competing for one position.
4 good players.
I mean, the biggest evidence of how the developed Zambian football was as compared to where it is now. Today, if I give you an example of when Wetson Nyirenda was coach and he had the 2012 Stars, and then there was the first qualifier, I think he superintended over, they didn't do well, and he kind of overhauled the team, removed a lot of the old guys, brought in the under 20.
The under 20, yes.
And it didn't work. You know?
Didn't work at all.
And it was supposed to at least galvanize something. But like I said, the biggest evidence you can see the development of Zambian football is we lost a whole team in 1993. Yeah. The team that replaced it in 1994, a year later, went to the final of AFCON. We lost, beaten Nigeria.
That is a very good example.
Could have beaten Nigeria.
Could have beaten them.
The number 2 team.
That's how good the pool was.
That's how good
the players were.
Yeah, exactly.
And those players,
you can't use a better example than that.
Next to the next Africa Cup again, semi-final again, which I think we were still the best team in the tournament. We just messed up that semi-final.
You can't give a better example than that to a players. You can imagine the whole team perishes, you bring another team and it still goes to the
to do the same job.
And loses only 2-1 to a very, very strong side.
Fini the George.
You know?
Yes.
Did as bad.
But we went to bed and stopped schools football and thought everything was going to. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It has to be deliberate. You have to work.
All those Litana. All those Wawa. Those were B-team players.
Yes.
We can continue.
Yeah. No, otherwise we are through for.
We're done. Let me just, before we take a quick break, let me go through some Facebook messages. This one says, "Evening, Gurus. This is Tresford Tisala. You are the best of the best. Congratulations, Zesco, Zeskolo, Janga Rangers, Zesco Kuwaya, Chingola fan in Solwezi." I don't know whether this word is supposed to be manager, Aria. Big up Chiwempala fans in Shanga North. Here we are. Then Jonathan Lubetankoma says, "Good evening, panelists." Jonathan Lubetankoma watching from Kalulushi. Then Theos Laston Chibwe Jr., Flava Radio and TV. Good evening, analysts. Good evening, analysts. Okay. Why should the salaries of coaches and players be a personal issue that you fail to talk about? If you go on the internet, we know in the EPL who is the highest paid coach.
That's a different
which player is getting how much? When are we going to be open with these things? Even just how players cost in the MTN Super League is a secret. Awe, we need to be open in our league for it to start ticking among the big leagues.
We have different culture, bwana.
Yes, unless something changes. For that one, what needs to happen? The councillors need to sit down. What needs to happen for them to change? But we are not at liberty.
Those are
No, we're not
association laws.
We don't have
We
that.
don't disclose. You know.
Oh, wait. In the UK and a lot of these, in the European leagues, one of the major reasons is a lot
Competition.
Yes, and a lot of the teams are on the stock
market.
exchange.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
so if
apart
you
from
go
that-
on the stock exchange, but anyway, all of them are required. But if you go on the stock exchange, you are required to reveal that kind of information. Like Man United, you can buy shares.
And apart from that,
Teams like
there are
Chelsea
rules for
commercial.
unfair competition. You remember?
The financial
In the
play,
financial
Yes.
play, financial fair play,
Yes.
and we don't have that. So
Now, for example, if it's Arthur, he's the most expensive player in Zambia, and let's say he's making 100,000 kwacha per month. Wouldn't that bring at where we are now? It will bring problems.
Yes.
To Arthur.
it will bring problems.
Relatives.
Everyone will
Player
friends.
Women will be chasing you all over town.
Player who pay money.
Those are problems. Maybe for now, maybe we are not ready.
No, we are not.
Yes.
Of course, we know.
Maybe
but,
the start would be on transfers. Maybe it would be nice to know what some of the players are being bought at. But on salaries, maybe I think maybe we're not yet.
No, but on transfer, the transfer market is open. Yeah, you're able to tell how much.
Yeah, it's up to clubs to disclose. Yeah, but they are not at liberty. It's up to them. Okay. Then Trustford again says, big up in Chaga Rangers, bravo. Abwed Nyainde says, proud of you. Then Ashley Abayelo, I see you. Keep doing the great job. We love you, Bola. Sitembiso, Tiana Alberts watching from home. James Panda, yes, school football Kamwala. We had Kabamba Kalande,
Yes.
James Tulabamba, whilst Libala we had Blackie. Then Ben Breezy, good evening, football lovers. I'm just asking Faz to provide security in Levy. We don't want to see our noisy neighbors, supporters with stones in their pockets. Go Power Dynamo. Then Matthews Kabamba is watching. Thank you, Matthews. Ronald Kampamba MK is watching. Gladys Zoe watching from Kitwe. Joseph Shambea. Arthur Mulishani bosses. I'm following the show. This is Honorable Without a Constituency, Dr. Shambea Joseph, popularly known as Washima, within Kitwe Racecourse Township, Zega Mambo, and Chelsea supporter. Charity Chongo, evening panel, good show. Following from Lufwanyama, Charity Chongo, Nkana for life, Likulu. Okay, all right, we'll catch up with more messages as we go.
There is one interesting message which I heard. Said, Faz mano. This game, it's Power Dynamos.
Oh,
who
yes,
are supposed
yes.
to provide the
security.
It's not the Faz.
Yes, it's up to Power
It's
Dynamo.
Power Dynamos who are hosting Nkana.
But it
So
never
you should have
Davis.
given the advice to
Stroke Arthur
Power
Davis.
Dynamos. I mean, to Power
Your game
Dynamos.
needs Stroke Arthur Davis.
Yeah. So, in other words, what about the whole the thing of like in the last Zambia game, there was no beer.
No,
beer
there wasn't.
bottles.
No,
allowed?
there was a lot of improvement.
So is this one? This is up to the discretion of Power Dynamos again, isn't it?
Yes.
To whether to allow
Yes.
or not.
Or not. It's Power Dynamos.
Okay.
They have the right of admission. They can say, bias, go back, we don't want you. Even if you sue, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
They're in charge.
Okay. At some point, I think towards the end of the show, I'm going to give, we're going to do some giveaways. I'll be giving on behalf of Betway a cap and a t-shirt. That's for 2 people to win because I've got 2 caps and 2 t-shirts. So a worthy person who's going to call in and say why their team, whether it's Power or Nkana, should win the derby. We're going to give away to a worthy person. The gentleman will judge in the studio that you have given good analysis. It's your turn. So be ready. That will be later on towards the end of the show. So please stay tuned. In the meantime, we're going for a quick break. We shall be right back.
Welcome to Kitwe, Mwaiseni KTK. This is the business capital of the Copper Belt and one of the mining towns, Panopako Pala.
Nkana Stadium, Pachila Tabakamba, Aba Red, Ebaba.
The home of Abayelo. Power Dynamo.
This right here gives us the bragging rights of owning one of the biggest derbies here in Africa. Urupirirwes, Black Mountain.
Kuno, trade is key. You'll be asked, but now we are Sokoni because we believe in our own. Pionse Kuno, Z-Trade.
You will find us with the people where the conversation starts. We are a friendly bunch, but we're also known for being serious. Blame it on our ancestors. Posamawe reminds us to be go-getters.
We have one of the biggest learning institutions in the land, bringing people from all over the world.
Our oneness comes from our linkage from KMB Ainondola, Luansha, Kalulushi, Mufrira, Chingola, and Chirabombwe are just a pass away.
The home of the Chimwemwe dance.
And we're back. You are tuned into the Flava Football Show live on Flava Radio and live on Flava TV. So, as we go on, I forgot to greet Clifford. Clifford, we were together. When was it? 2 days ago. And he was complaining at my phone calls. My phone calls. We need more time.
Yeah.
To see. And then Yes. Okay. We shall attend to it. Let's give out results and do a small results analysis of what happened this weekend. There was APSA. Ladies played. And
we have Northern Province.
Yes, and Northern Province. So, Otherman, do the honors.
Yeah, let's
Give
start
out
with
the bunch of results.
Yes, please. Let's start with the APSA, which went into the quarterfinals. So, quarterfinal number 1.
Oh, sorry. Real Madrid has just scored. Let's say Rodrigo. Yeah.
Okay.
So, game 1.
This is game 1.
Okay.
In England, yes.
In England.
So, Pulikan. Bachiranda wa 30 talusa twice uli. Anyway, quarterfinal number 1, Saturday, 13th April 2024. It was 12:30 hours. Car Warriors 5, Indeni nil. Quarterfinal 2, still on Saturday, 13th April 2024, 15 hours.
14:30.
No, they started 15.
14:30.
14:30.
I was there.
Okay, okay. It was Power Dynamos 0, Musa 1. You are right, actually. Power Dynamos 0, Musa 1. Quarterfinal number 3, Sunday, 14th April 2024, 12:30. Zesco United 0, Nchanga 0, regulation time. And then the game had to go into penalties. It was Zesco 3, Changa Rangers 4. Thanks to
Brilliant
Victor
goalkeeper.
Chabu, Changa Rangers goalkeeper. Quarterfinal number 4, Sunday, 14 April 2024. This one did not. This one started at 15 because of penalties.
Okay.
Yeah, because there were penalties.
Provision for.
So it was Red Arrows 2, Green Eagles 1. Meaning that the semi-finals now will be Car Warriors versus Musa and Red Arrows versus Changa Rangers. That's how the quarterfinals for APSA.
We'll see whether Rangers will continue being a giant killer. To be a good route for them.
So, Car Warriors, Musa, Red Arrows, and Changa.
Yeah.
I really want Red Arrows, Musa final. There's
Again.
sparks.
Again. Okay.
The
We
possibility
need
is there.
those sparks.
Yeah. And it may happen.
The possibility is high.
Yeah, the possibility is quite high. Okay. All right. More results, Otherman?
Okay, so national Division 1, Week 23 results. Squatro Kalumbira 3, Atletico Lusaka 0. Jumulo 1, Chambishi 3. Chipata United 1, Lumana Radiance 0. Mpulungu Youth Academy 0. Kafue Eagles 1. Young Prison Leopards 1, Mpulungu Haba 1. Now, the game between Quito United and Aguirre was abandoned somewhere in the 38th minute because the assistant referee number 1 was hit with a missile which was thrown by some unknown person, and he had to be given 4 stitches. It was quite some serious injury. So this game was abandoned. It was at KPF. Quito United were home.
So Quito United stand to lose points.
Fortunately, they have arrested the chap who did that, and first they have been informed.
That is
Very unfortunate.
Very good
Very
progress.
unfortunate. Yet, the game was flowing very well. There wasn't any controversy. Only for assistant to be hit. Yeah, it's not on. Then, the games which were postponed, the National Assembly versus Indeni, Changa Rangers versus City of Lusaka, Young Green Buffaloes versus Zesco Malite Rangers. I don't know if we go straight to Super League or we analyze this. This
The
is,
ladies.
This is the Super League. This is the National League, by the way. And
Yes.
we always analyze.
Uh-huh.
So
You
want
can
us to close
I can ask you any thoughts on the results which.
Yeah. The team which I want to talk about did not play, but you remember I've been singing this song.
Yes.
But in then declaration of intent. They are now number 3. And it appears they are definitely getting one of the slots. They did not do well in ups, of course. 5-0 was quite a bashing.
Yes.
But this is a team which I think has enough experience to grab one of the slots for the Super League.
Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe before my colleagues come in, Jomoro's, there was a bit of life, but there again, 3-1, back to default settings.
Back to default
They are
settings.
definitely going to be demoted.
Any thoughts from the results in the National League?
Yes, especially Quattro Karumbila 3 Atletico.
Yeah, it's a long time Quattro won, eh?
It's an indifferent result.
Yeah, I think
If it came out 1-1, I wouldn't be shocked. Or Atletico winning 2-1.
What's happening to Atletico Lusaka?
Yeah, because it has been a while since they recorded a positive result, and you can see that the teams that were just near in and around 5, 6, 7 have closed in the gap.
Yeah.
And now we're heading towards the business end of the season. They need to turn a leaf quick and fast.
Yeah.
Quick and fast.
Yeah, no.
Is it lack of experience? I'm surprised.
No, football sometimes plastic. Arsenal lost 2-0. It's football. Even good sides lose.
Chipata United beating Lumwana, is that a surprise? 1-0?
Very big surprise.
Oh, yes, it is.
Very big surprise. Rwanda is quite seasoned.
Kumarupiri, where they beat, they don't play. You go to Chipata,
Kumaro.
you have to lose.
Chipata United look like they may survive this one.
They definitely will.
Another 3 wins.
They are sneaking in
Yeah,
up
they're
there.
slowly picking
They will
up.
survive. And remember how they started.
Yeah,
Very
I
slow.
consider them a candidate to go down,
Because
but
that's
they
a very
seem
big
to have
win, huh?
stabilized.
The Rwanda game is a very
It's a big win.
very
Yeah.
big win. I think
When you go to Chipata, don't expect to get 3 points.
go to Malawi.
You really need to fight.
You go to Malawi.
Yeah, the kind of the National League.
Yeah. After all, that is one of the
But they don't
best.
know witchcraft. Okay, Malawi.
They have a nice stadium, so it shouldn't be used by
Yes, they're playing in a nice stadium.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Shall we give the other
For the
other results? The ladies?
we give for the ladies, eh?
Yes.
Okay. First Women's Super League. It was week 28. And the results were as follows. Indian Roses 9. Kyle Celtic Queens nil. Come on, this team also. I think they rushed to join this league. They're embarrassing themselves each week. Queens Sports Academy 1. Police Blue Eagles Women 2. Luyando Football Girls 3. National Assembly 2. Chipata Girls nil. Red Arrows nil. Yasa Queens 1. Green Eagles Women 1. ZISD Women 2. Zanaco Ladies 3. Zescondola, this was a cracker. This was a cracker. Remember, since this league started, it's Buffaloes who have been winning throughout.
Yeah.
So Zesco are throwing a challenge for the first time they want to win it also. So you'll hear when I start giving the league standings.
Yeah.
These teams have the same points. You know, they're just being separated by goal difference. So Zesco Ndola Girls hosted Green Buffaloes Women. They brought almost the Siamfukos, the whole national team. It was 1-1. It was a cracker. It's the one we covered on Topstar. So it was Zesco Ndola Girls 1, Green Buffaloes women won. And after those games, the table is as follows. Green Buffaloes, like I said, 65 points. Zescondola Girls, 65 points. Number 3, Indian Roses, 59 points. Number 4, Zanaco Ladies, 51 points. Number 5, Green Eagles Women, 49 points. Number 6, Elite Ladies, 46 points. Number 7, Red Arrows Women, 43 points. Number 8, ZISD Women, 41 points. Number 9, Police Dove Queens, 37 points. Number 10, Quasi Queens, 35 points. 11, Yasa Queens, 33 points. 12, Trident Queens, 30 points. 13, Police Blue Eagles, 29 points. Number 14, Luyando Foundation, 28 points. Now in the relegation zone, number 15, National Assembly, 28 points. Number 16, Queens Sport Academy, 25 points. Number 17, Chipata Girls, 12 points. And the Kawe Celtic Queens has drawn only 2 games and have lost the rest. You can imagine. Drawing only 2 and losing the rest. This should be disbanded maybe and reorganized. So this is how the women's league panned out for week 28.
Northern Province?
Northern Province, Mungu Yacht Spurs 1, Mpande Youth Academy 0, Ituna 0, Prokoso United 0, Teta 0, Malalo Police 0, Luansa versus Super Strikers. Super Strikers failed to travel. Kasama United Youth Academy 0, Kasama Rising Stars 2, Mpaji Youth 1, Ndeke 1, Senga Young Stars 1, Mima Pirates 0, Mbala Midsport 0, Tazara Blue Stars 1, Jazz Liners Youth Academy 0, Kateshi Coffee Bullets 0. So this was the first Northern Province Division 1, week 29 results.
Okay.
I'm now only
Super League.
Super League we go through.
Yes, let's go through.
With the Super League today, it was Forest Rangers 1, Prison Leopards 1, Nkana 2, Konkola Blades 1, Trident 1, Napsa Stars 1, Zanaco 1, Green Buffaloes 1, Forest Rangers 1, Prison Leopards 1. I've given this result twice, eh? Yeah, I think so. Power Dynamos 1, Mutondo Stars 0. Tomorrow, Flira Wanderers versus Green Eagles, Red Arrows versus Zesco United. And there was one postponed game, Muza versus Nkwazi. I don't know if I've left any result, but I think.
Where was it?
Yeah.
I think it was at the request of Muza. There's some logistical issue.
Okay.
So these were the results.
Coach, I'll give you a minute each. Any result that interested you today?
Yes, please. Trident and Napsa Stars. I think Trident have turned the leaf ever since Coach Ernest Kofi went there. They've posted a few good results. I don't even remember the last time that they lost a game. Hopefully it is they get to stick now with the coach and try to build up on that. I think Trident not losing to Napsa, especially at home, gives them a huge boost in their quest for survival.
Yeah. Other?
I watched the part of the Mutondo game. It was a very down first half for both sides. And I think Mutondo was overly defensive from the beginning.
They had to be.
Yeah, they were very, very defensive.
They're playing Power Dynamos.
Yeah, and Power Dynamos was Not so threatening in the first half, but when they made some changes, Mulambia came on board and the game changed. So they ended on a very big positive, and I hope that will help the players get into a winning mood or mode when they come up against Nkana on Saturday.
Yeah.
But for Trident, I've done a bit of homework as well. They are resurgent. I mean, it's come at the wrong time, of course, when things are really bad, but I'm told they are playing very good football. Yeah, so if get relegated, well, then coach will win.
Then they come back.
Yeah, they will definitely come back. Because even the win against Mighty Mukule Wanderers was not a fluke.
No, they played well.
They played well. Even Mighty Mukule Wanderers supporters, our fans, acknowledged that defeat. Said no, they were the better side on the day.
Yeah.
Not the referee.
Alderman, give us.
Well, I was at Nkana Stadium this afternoon. I watched Nkana versus the Konkola Blades. It was interesting to see the Boston Championship coming back to Nkana. This time on a different bench.
Yes.
You know, it brought Konkola Blades. Well, this game was also not so exciting. It was a dull game. Nkana played disjointed football. Konkola Blades took a bit of time to settle down. It was only, I think, in the second half that Konkola had settled down. Nkana could have scored 3 goals in the first 10 minutes. Idris Irungambombo is finished. Let me now agree.
Hold that, man. You're not even big diplomatic.
No.
Oh my God, diplomatic.
That's not the Mbombo we knew.
You can just say he was off form today.
Okay, maybe off form. I tell you. No, that's not the Idris.
It's not the same Mbombo.
It explains why he has scored only 2 goals since he came. I mean, he came to help the team.
Yeah.
He's supposed to up his game. He's supposed to live up to the expectations.
Is he helpful in other areas?
Yes, he is, because at least he's drawing strikers one corner, and then the other friends are a bit free to,
Take advantage.
Especially Kangurube is intelligent, he knows when to move in. Yeah, but to tell you the truth, is not the Idris we knew. Because those 3 chances in the first half were so clear-cut. Nkana should have buried the game in the first half. But that was a missed clear-cut chances. Konkola settled down, and what a cracker of a goal. It's a long time I saw that goal of that nature. It was scored from about 35 meters away by this Congolese striker. I've forgotten the name. It took a very terrific shot. Mongandala didn't expect it.
Yeah.
If he fumbled with the ball, only to realize it was in the net. He tried to retrieve it, it was late. Yeah, but of course, that was after Nkana had been awarded a penalty and Mbombo stepped up and scored. So Nkana scored first via penalty. It was Mbombo who scored. And then
Vitalis Gante.
Yeah. I tell you, it would take. I wish it was on TV, that one.
Yeah.
So it was 1-1 first half, because Konkola scored right on the nick of halftime, end of halftime. So second half, Konkola had different ideas. They started pressing. They reorganized themselves and started. They played much better. They were seeing the ball more, and Nkana had, of course, to respond. And when they made changes, that's when Nkana scored that goal, which brought controversy, because Konkola were of the view that there was a handball before Ngurube scored. I didn't see it. I didn't see a handball. But the game was almost abandoned. It was stopped for about 10 minutes. And then it continued. That's how Nkana managed to get. It was hard-fought points, I tell you. Because they failed to bury it in the first half. And then second half, Konkola played the game and wanted to get back. So, Nkana, not so convincing. It's still disjointed, still playing high balls. And they need to prepare better against Power Dynamos who like to put the ball on the ground and are swift.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe the strategy should change. So anyway, congratulations to Nkana. You don't mind how the points come as long as it's 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've, by the way, moved to 11 points. I know I'm overtaking Pass's job, but anyway, that's what has happened.
Okay, so very quickly, let's open up phone lines so that you can have your say. So basically, we're going to open phone lines now. We'll come back and do fixtures. Then the competition at the end of the show. I want one Power Dynamos fan to win and one Nkana fan to win a t-shirt and a cap, courtesy of Betway. Okay, phone lines are now open 0767 667 515. It is 0-0 between Bayern Munich and Arsenal, and Man City are down 1-0 to Real Madrid.
There's one result I left, sorry. Kansanshi 1, Kai Warriors 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think now, yeah. That's a problem.
Hello, Pius Mabombe.
I'm quiet.
Hello.
Hello, I'm quiet. Please go ahead.
Pius.
Yes, good evening. Good. Who am I speaking to?
Mabomba Shan.
Not to Mombafe Bueno.
James Kosanya Parwangop.
Well, James, please go ahead.
Mkanomba sifonsha bapa zini mwana pangira competition mwana pedati Nkana na bapa na mwachifika pejini roli wonchasta contribute artaka na
ni Derby
rengere
ni Derby rengere
seso hore kiri nande competition na Zesco United bantu wa Zesco bari ka beat game y'abantanga Rangers wanjini to amudusa zona kuba ije banjanga because na mweza dire y'abantanga Rangers that's what they at this game. Wala sana mu 3 goals or 4 goals. Ero kusadu zona kuba aba tumwene jamu bazona na bapa wabarushire kuri bamuza bawa ma box like oya ruta kuba ishaba di division 1. But anyway, it's part of the game that I thought Sararo ira game ya maide so ikapo ya bari shadows. I think game ya bari shadows kure show kuina, so that's what that is just some point kuri bari shadows because ngatwaluza which means red shadows are in the league. Amanga to amusepa, which means competition yara to until last game. Very kuri Arsenal Bayern kuri wina ba Arsenal mwintu kinya pola tani bad man dem. Kinya po Arsenal adi mwera to ala wina game hii. Ena one just to say congratulations kuma girls women teams bari sita at least wali mfabu wino. Ila kuma Olympic pali pa shidi pa kuleka. By today kabadi competition yo. Itangeni se general bonzo teko participate mandini.
Thank you, James. 0967-000-877 or 0767-667-515.
Hey, Papas.
Shani.
Wino Mwabombeni.
I'm quiet. Thank you, my famous. Please go ahead.
Wino. Hey, Papasi. Na tukwai ba udamani bachirara ndi abakitwe ibachirara ndati yari abandon bakitwe na bakwatiro karumbira ndebcha last time ba maite one bade tena bakitwe so na lebe ba supporter baba kitwe ati mwakumana mwe ba fyongo mwe ba ruguri ba maite na bakitwe ero supporter abakitwa nje bacha kweta turi ba fyongo ifotiri tukana fetiri bankere fyongo tati akwate nomba na dabo futi abarira nda turi ba fyongo turi bankere fe ba ya kwa abandon ibate nani mukari ero ukwisa kuri ya Nkana versus Power ikawa me kagonse bafukuina bose balina omwera wa Kiwunda wa Nkana na bapawa Secho ndero mbaffe bakochi Idrisi Irunga mbomu n'abamupeera amatanti na saate bamupeereko bapayasi ero saate wabeeshi bapawa nga mwasikonka abakwatinisirya kalengwa tuyishire bankana na mpesa ali mukanda uliwo muyachi naye nali tuyishire eti abana saate bora bapawa alengi kyako so akamuyuzini ali beeshi babwino sana ndekusha ali tamshara bapeya bengi sana amadifenda kulano kwati na abula mulwale takinga sana ewali mbere afumeko era bola trident areteya kufirira mu nsenga so nga makumana na trident wishbatire kaba areteya iri kufirira mu nsenga nali mwana ba maiti ali bakosho bwikalo kutina bali goals banafutana bena bachipusuka fe bola ireteya nani trident aba pass na push.
Thank you very famous
alifo wakufana
0767-667-515 0767-667-515 or 0967-000-877. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello, Pass Mawomben.
Yeah, I'm quiet.
This is Mwenya from Mni.
Vamwenya, good evening.
Evening, everyone in the studios.
Good evening, thank you.
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to just make an appeal to you to also consider voice notes, like I said some time back on WhatsApp, and even just WhatsApp messages. Well, it's very tricky to call.
Yeah.
I normally feel I don't even know how manage to do.
We've tried it.
Then coming to our local league, I thought Power Dynamos has lost it this season. But football being what it is, let's wait and see. I look at it to be a two-horse race, that's Zesco Arrows. But football being what it is, we will see how we end. Then coming to Copper Queens, good that we have qualified to the Olympics and of course AFCON. But I'm just an appeal to the coach to consider the goalkeeper in Congo. That lady, what's the name again? Yeah, if that goalkeeper can also be given a chance before he go to the Olympics and AFCON, I think he should prove herself. Then concerning the technical bench for Coach Bruce, for me, he just needs to be beefed up, not firing him. We just need maybe to give him a psychologist, video analyst, and maybe a dietitian, and so on. Then we'll be good to go. And the elderman has mentioned that we have now so many girls playing outside the country, which is a plus.
Yes.
It's a challenge to the men folk. The girls are doing better. That's why Mwanawasa was filled up. Coming to the derby, derby is unpredictable, especially that it will now be at a neutral venue. Whoever wants it more, I think are the ones who win, especially that both teams are rebounding from wins. So we wait and see. Firstly, I think he should just also work on the cup, increasing the number of cup games, and then dock the points to fans who misbehave. Dock points for their teams. You will see how quickly they will behave. We may not even need the police, because the fans themselves will start policing each other, because no team would want to have their team lose points, especially when they are vying for the tough competition or fighting relegation. Good evening, thank you.
Thank you, Bamwenya. 0767-667-515 or 0967-000-877. Good evening, caller. We have a message here. Good evening, football gurus. I'm enjoying the show. Up to now, I have failed to understand why Chambesh was fired. Kalampa is too for... I think he's trying to say too big for Bakala. Danima profit from Chamboli. 0967-000-877. Number to call us on in the studio. Pastor Louise Joseph, go. Kalampa, go. Other messages, still more messages here. Evening panel. It's Saturday again, but power. Let's show these guys Kubitu good soccer and teach them a football lesson. Cheers, power, for hammering Mutondo. Quick recovery, Calabar. Stephen Chitenga, aka Abayelo Pachamboli. 0967-000-877. We can take another call before we go into the fixtures for this weekend. 0967-000-877. That is the number you can catch us on. Good evening, caller.
Okay, this is Martin speaking.
Martin, please go ahead.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, we can get you loud and clear. Good evening. Please go ahead. Hello, Martin. Please go ahead. Have we lost Martin there? 0967 000-877. Good evening, caller.
Hello. Mabombe ni mkwae.
Yeah, mkwae.
Niba Kennedy Maseka pa Solweza pa North Western wa Kennedy Maseka mabomba shani bonse kupane oko.
Thank you.
Twatotela programu mulatukula lesa ale mivakilila lesa ale misunga lesa misungi mulabaki malondera bwine sya bola tula myumfa bwino sana. Ifo kita congratulation kubana kashi awe abana kashi bena lesa babakilile bale bombo mulimo usuma sana beni ba coach ba Bruce Mwape mubalekere kola kwine kwa national team ya abana kashi noti kubafumi yako awe ba Bruce Mwape batwalile kola kwine batese continuous noti kubafumi yako batotera mubombe bwino kupane oko.
Thank you, Kennedy Maseka. Okay, I think we can, for now, we can go straight into fixtures for this weekend. But the table after today's games is as follows. Trident sits at the bottom with 20 points. Kansanshi, 26 points. Number 17, 16. Prison Leopards, 27 points. Mulera Wanderers, 15 to 30 points in the relegation zone. Konkola Blades just above the relegation zone with 31 points. Mutondo Stars with 32 points, number 13. Not safe as well because one win from Muflera Wanderers and they leapfrog everybody into number 12. Nkana, number 11 with 34 points and 4 points above relegation. Another win will at least make them a bit safe. But unfortunately, this weekend they're not winning. So that's the bad part. So they'll still be shaking a bit. Number 10, Green Buffaloes with 35 points. 9, Zanaco, 36 points. 8, Forest Rangers, 36 points. 7, Green Eagles, 37 points. 6, Cabo Warriors, 41 points. 6 is then 5 Nkwazi, 42 points. 4 FC Muza, 46 points. 3 Power Dynamos with 48 points. 2 Zesco United with 50 points. And number 1 Red Arrows with 57 points. All right. So as we move on, looking at fixtures coming up, week 29, we have Nkwazi versus Forest Rangers on Saturday. Power versus Nkana Saturday as well. Sunday, GBFC Green Buffaloes versus Red Arrows. It's going to be a cracker, this one. Green Eagles versus Cabo Warriors. Another cracker. Napsa versus Muflira Wanderers. Another cracker. Lots to play for in these matches. Kansanshi versus Zanaco. Prison Leopards versus Trident. Zesco United versus Mutondo Stars. Mutondo back at Levy. Then Konkola Blades versus Musa. I think I'd love to watch this one as well.
That'll be very nice. Yeah.
Yes.
On Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah, I think you will come back on Sunday.
Yes. So apart from the derby, your pick of the weekend?
With Konkola Musa, obviously, Konkola have not been losing at home. They make sure that they get maximum points. If the West come to the
Konkola
West...
have not won in the last 5 games.
They have not won in the last 5 games. They're coming from a loss. Hopefully they are going to react. Because they're playing a Musa side which is aiming to play continental football. It won't be easy. Another loss takes Konkola deep into the relegation zone. Yeah, so
now the magnet really becomes hard.
Something else. So it's tricky. It's tricky.
Coach?
Zesco United next opponent.
Zesco versus Mutondo.
Yeah. It's a game Zesco should win at all costs. 7 points between them and Red Arrows. Zesco drop any points at this stage of the season with a number of games left, then we may just conclude that Red Arrows will walk away with it. Zesco have to keep winning at this stage, especially that their only hopes of winning silverware this season, they were knocked out of the ABSA Cup. So they need to keep that pressure on Red Arrows. So Zesco have to win.
Before Arthur comes in, it's a war here. They want number 2. They know Arrows has taken it, but who accompanies Arrows?
Yes,
who plays in the Confederations Cup? There's Musa, there's Zesco, there's Power.
Yeah.
And only one out of those.
It's tricky for Mutondo because Mutondo, this is their day to go in relegation zone. If they lose to Zesco, I'm
lose to
telling
Zesco,
you, this one,
They're gone.
because it's not guaranteed that Wanderers are going to lose against NAPSA, but it's possible. It's also the other team, Konkola Blades, who are facing Musa. But anyway, maybe they have a chance because Wanderers and Musa, Wanderers and okay, but Konkola Blades will be home, so
they are home.
So even a draw for Konkola Blades will not take them above Mutondo. Mutondo could survive. If they lose, they could survive just by the grace of God. If these are the NAPSA and Zesco do the business. Just by the grace of God. You don't shift position.
Sign of a cross.
Yes.
Sign of the cross.
Yeah. Because at least, because Prisons, they're still on 27 points. But a win will bring them closer. That's if they manage to beat Trident, which is very possible. But Trident is a different animal.
Trident has changed.
It's a different animal now. Yeah.
You can't write them off.
So you can't. On paper you can't. It's not a done deal.
Not anymore. The dynamics have changed.
So next week would be very interesting in the bottom 6.
Bottom 6, it will be very selective.
Yeah.
No, pass just from now until the closure of the league. Every game is dynamic. There'll be a lot of
every week.
Yeah, every weekend will be crazy.
Yeah.
6 games to go, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. So, Arthur, have you done yours? No?
Bravolos against
Red Arrows.
That'll be a huge cracker. But again, that game will be determined tomorrow. Depends how Arrows perform in tomorrow's game. If they don't perform well in tomorrow's game, Buffalo should take advantage of them when they host them. Because then they'll still be.
But Arthur,
shading
this is a Red Arrows side.
Not playing well,
which has been so consistent.
Yeah, they're not playing good football.
The last time they dropped
they are
points,
consistent.
Last time
nine
they dropped
games,
points was when they played when they hosted the Mfrida Wanderers.
Yes. After
they
that,
have won 5 in a row, and the 6th one was a draw previously. So
it's
most likely
that's a
they
mark
can
of
do
a
number
champion.
6. Yes, it's a mark of a champion.
And they are scraping 3 points. They were telling about
And when was the last time they changed the coach?
You can't.
By Red Arrows.
Yes.
You can't remember.
These ones clearly know the difference between a coach and a manager.
Yeah.
I understand.
They understand.
Yes. Okay. All right. The big one. Before we open up and get some phone calls for the winners of, we can open up phone calls. Before we open up phone calls, Power versus Nkana. I start with you, Alderman, again.
Yeah, it will be a very exciting game. The first game.
Before you even analyze, is it the second biggest derby in this region?
There's no doubt about it.
After the Soweto derby?
After Soweto, it's this one. Even in South Africa, they do acknowledge this derby. You know,
it's not Petro, Luanda, and
no, these are new teams.
It's not Dynamos and Caps United.
This rivalry starts from the 70s. We used to see the coffins going around. It's only now that things have changed a bit.
A bit more.
You know. So anyway, this week's game, Nkana lost the first game. But they've changed personnel. They're a different team altogether. On the paper, this derby you give it to Power Dynamos. They're enjoying good form. They've almost everything. But you see, one thing I've learned about over the past 18, 20 years about this derby, it will depend on who wants it more, on that, who takes care of who converts the chances that are created.
Yeah.
But on paper, it seems Power can get it. But Nkana are still threatened with relegation. If there's one team they don't want to lose to, they would rather lose to Trident and so on. But they don't want to lose to Power Dynamos. So Power Dynamos must not underrate Nkana. This is a game which can go either way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll be a little bit over the fence on this one. I think it is a game with a lot of consequences, especially on the coaching aspect. If Nkana goes ahead and lose this one, I think Coach Bakara will be in hot soup, as we have been reading the messages. And I think it is also the same. If Power go ahead and lose it, I think there will be a little bit of more pressure again on Coach Oswald. So I think there is a lot at stake. But of course, a derby is a derby. It just depends on who wants it more. Only that Power Dynamos of late have been blowing hot and cold. I think it's a game they should win, but it would depend on how they will turn up on that day, which Power Dynamos is going to show up, we don't know.
Yes.
But I think Nkana do have a team that is very, very much capable of hitting not only just Power Dynamos, or just any team on their day, they do have their attacking prowess. So eager to see how it will turn up, but I'm on the fence on this one. It
on the fence.
Go either way.
Yeah.
Arthur?
No, it's a very tough call because both teams are coming from very bad performances. Power Dynamos is playing good football, but they're failing to convert. They won't wait to feel like Power. Even the Arrows game, they could have scored 5 clear goals. Clear. The other man was there.
Yes.
Clear.
I agree.
But they fail, even today's game, they're failing to convert. So, Coach Oswald, the way they are lucky, in short. They are playing very good football, but even in the derby, in the upside game, we played well. Better performance than Mozart, and we had 2 clear chances, and we just failed to bury them. So the element of luck, I think, is important in football. Right now, there's no luck that good. Even today's game against Muza, 1-0, it's not enough. If you look at the standard of Power Dynamos compared to Mutondo, Mutondo an upcoming side. I'm not trying to write them off, but if you compare the two, Tottenham supposed to win by 3 or 4 goals as a standard against teams like Mtondo, but they struggled to actually, or rather we struggled to beat them 1-0. And for me, that is not a very good sign going into a derby.
But derby is
a dynamic pass, of course. But looking at those dynamic pass, it's going to be a bit of a. I don't think it's going to be as explosive as it has been all the time, because both sides are not playing very good football this time around. I pray and hope Power Dynamos will wake up to being what they are, and Nkana. If we are bola, I want the best from both sides, so that we, as the fans, administrators alike, other coaches alike, we just have a good day. That's a game you actually wait for a year. We don't have a game in Moisho. And it comes and it must be enjoyed. So I wish both teams the best. Of course, my money is on Power Dynamos, being the better side.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to take... You've seen the pattern which has been there in ABSA. Where you put Indeni to play against the big fish, they get hammered. You put Maimwena against Power Dynamos, they get hammered. The football of levels. I'm going to throw away the whole thing of the derby. At the moment, Nkana is not on Power Dynamos level. And I'm expecting Power to take chances this time. As long as Power takes their chances, there's no contest.
You know what is good about this game?
It's going to be stop fight.
You know what is good about
If it was boxing, it would be second round, out.
Knocked out. You know what is good about this game pass? Power Dynamos was able to break the jinx of not scoring. At least they broke the ice today, so we expect goals in the next game.
Yeah.
But the way you've stood by Power Dynamos this evening.
This one I don't have a doubt.
I think we should give you the Betway t-shirt and the cap.
Yes, give me the Betway t-shirt and the cap. No, Power is winning this one. 100%. This one, I'm sorry, Nkana. They are not on the level of Power Dynamos right now. If Power plays to its strength, to its full potential, there's no contest.
Far away.
I'm sorry, Nkana.
You'll be shocked.
But a derby, anything can happen. I'm alive to the fact. Anything can happen.
It's Nkana which went and beat Musa away.
But it depends on...
And from that time, I think Musa went for about five games without loss.
It depends also on the Nkana players. How much Nkana do they feel in their blood? You know, because look at the way Manchester United played against Liverpool. The one in the FA Cup. You know, that one, they just kept pushing. Pakafie, they do something. You see?
Yeah, but
so
Power...
It depends on...
but there's no doubt.
How they
There's no doubt. This time round,
Power
will play a very different Nkana side. With Hitoshi Chinga, Clement Mlenga stabilizing the back, Mumba, and Matthews at the right. At least Power Dynamos will have to sweat for their win.
If they win.
Unlike if that win. Unlike in the first round where Nkana were at 6s and 7s. With the new signings, they may not be playing so well, but at least they're solid side.
We
shall see it's a good thing they won today, so that at least that even if they lose on Saturday, there will be allowance. They've got 4 points above relegation. They can make up for it. Okay, we are opening the phone lines. I want one Power Dynamos supporter, one Power supporter to tell us.
One Power and one Nkana supporter.
We say one Power Dynamos and one Nkana supporter to tell us why their team should win. If it's not convincing to the gentlemen, we'll try the next person. 0967 000877 or 0767 667 515. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Good evening, caller.
Yes, hello, good evening.
Who am I speaking to?
My name is Boniface. I'm calling from Osaka. First thing first, I'm not
Boniface,
competing
are you
for the.
Nkana or Power supporter?
Yeah, I'm not competing for the T-shirt and the cap. I just want to put my observations. I've heard one of the panelists here is talking about it, saying, Power Dynamos is not at the level of Nkana. Which barometer in terms of analytical prescription that we can use, because all those are just the same players. So in the dimensionality of looking at football in Zambia today, if Power Dynamos is as good as that analyst is saying, I don't know if he's an analyst or just a football commentator, if Power Dynamos is as good, is far better than Nkana, in which context is he talking about? Because when you talk about the clubs which are doing fine in Africa, those are the teams which are playing in the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup. Those are the barometers that we must use. Emotions and sentiments aside, those are just ordinary players. In Zambia today, the most efficient and efficacious in terms of potency is Red Arrows. That's the team which is playing the brand of football that everybody would agree with. Red Arrows is the most complete side. Why? Because they are the most balanced side. If you talk about the midfield, the creativity and the bowling skills of Paul Katema and the Congolese Joe Ibengo and the Lassana Diarra has brought to the fore, and the memories which we can reuse of the kind of yesterday.
So, thank you for your contribution, but we're running out of time for the show, so we really need to get into the competition. Thank you. Now, on phone calls which are coming, please, only for the competition. We've already opened for other comments. So, phone lines are now open. Just for the competition. Good evening, caller.
Hey, Papa Stani.
Famous.
Hey, Nabuela.
Famous musapota banani?
Achani.
Musapota banani?
Nkana.
Okay. Famous. Why Nkana? Why do they deserve to win?
Achani icheza pasi.
Ati Nkana.
Shikalenga bawine.
Ati Nkana sikalenga bakawine. Bapasi icheli mwino taire mkuta sana.
Ukuwina bapawa.
Bapasi. Ipusheni.
Was it when you were starting the program?
Yes. Famous. Ushamule umfwa. Okay. Next, I think the line was very bad. We need.
Stay away from the
what you can do is when you call in, give us your name, which team you support, Power Nkana, and why you think they will win. Caller.
Supporter Nkana.
So Nkana bala winner.
Ikafuma draw.
Yeah.
Ikafuma draw. Okay. Thank you, Famous. The group Varachta decide whether Mwarapoka
is eliminated.
Is eliminated.
Is eliminated because we want a Power supporter to tell us why he thinks Power will win.
And why.
And we want Nkana supporter to tell us why he thinks Nkana will win.
Yes.
If you have a draw up, but a prediction.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes, this is Flava.
Yes, this is Flava. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Hello. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, okay. I think we're talking about Nkana and Power here.
Yes.
So to begin with, I'm all yellow blood.
Pardon?
Is a yellow blood.
Yeah, yellow. Okay.
I'm calling from Dollar.
Your name?
So if we're talking about why Power win,
yes,
I think for me, I'm looking at how Oswald has really improved the Power Dynamos team ever since he came through. I think we've seen that even the substitutions that he made, he's making actually, progressive. We've seen players improving. We've seen even Linus Makwaza Jr. improving. So I think Power deserves to win, and if they really play to their strength and just take their chances, I don't see Nkana really winning this game. I think Nkana has been poor this season. They've been struggling even with the acquisition of other players. They're not consistent in their results and what they've been doing. So Power just had the bad parts, but I believe Power is going to carry the day come this Saturday.
Thank you. Your name?
Mason Piri from Ndola.
Nason Piri from Ndola. Please keep listening so that we can give you instructions.
Just in case.
Okay, thank you. Gentlemen, you can adjudicate. He's done a decent job.
No, let's first hear from
How many calls are we going to take to start with?
We don't have time.
So
let's find the Nkana supporter now.
Close it in.
Yes, I think he's done a good job on my side.
No, yes.
We need the Nkana supporter to call in now. 0767-667-515 or 0967-000-877. Good evening, caller.
Okay, now, sir.
Yeah.
Mwachikota chance Bavema.
No, he was eliminated.
Nkana chirengo kulimada na kwa chanomba bena jako bongurube na bekatana na bena erikiema. Ero na kocha redi dinga bola. Kocha wesoro na bena chito singa pa na bekatana na bena Clement mwape. So defense iri organize kunu makudia. So etingare ngo kuwina.
Okay. Thank you, Bafemas. Judges, he's already been eliminated.
He's already eliminated. Okay. Unless nobody else calls in.
Unless nobody else calls in. We need the Nkana supporter to call us within the next 30 seconds.
Hello, good evening, panel.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, good evening, panel.
Good evening. Who am I speaking
to?
Thank
you so much. My name is Shihana Jasper. I'm an Nkana supporter.
Yes, for Jasper.
I strongly believe Nkana will carry the day. Reason being, they have got a very good defensive side. And the first half today, I watched Nkana. They played very good football. They could have scored 3 goals in the first 10 minutes. Apparently, Power equally struggling. They might be on third position. But the truth is, going into Saturday's game this weekend, it will be a different ball game together. Nkana will win without fail. Thank you so much. Jasper here, Shahana.
Thank you.
Is Mr.
Jasper. Okay, no, he can still give us
closure on that.
So, do we have closure?
Yeah,
we've got our 2 winners.
Okay.
Nelson Piri and Jasper, we didn't get your last name. Can you kindly text your details, of course, we'll have your phone number, but text to 0965 000-877, or you can even use WhatsApp. It's 0965 000-877. You are the winners of Betway t-shirt and cap, courtesy of Betway. And thank you for calling.
Pass, just a quick one before we actually close. Someone called in and was shooting us at I'm a commentator, not an analyst. Because we were talking about Nkana and Power based on current form. And he gave a comparison of, he used an international scene as a purpose of comparison. I think it's completely out of context.
Yes.
Or you mean Boniface from Lusaka?
Yeah, we're talking about the current form, Young Ghana, and current form, Young Power. Of course, Red Arrows is standing out right now, but even then, the standard of football, Zambia.
And we're talking about the derby. We're not involving Red Arrows or any other team.
Yeah, he's trying to be clever and shoot people down. I think it's out of context.
Yes.
And we had one of the most consistent Power Dynamos followers who was in almost every week in, week out, were famous. He actually said Nkana supporter. Yeah. He actually said it was going to end in a draw, meaning he was hoping that the best result Nkana can get is a draw. So probably looking at it on form, we cannot deny that perhaps this.
The 10-second warning. And 0-0 between Bayern and Arsenal. Bola.
Nizikoli.
Bola.
Ibaba. Go and ask Morocco.
Zambia foot.
Everything you want in one place. Be part of the Flava family.
Welcome to Kitwe. Mwaiseni KTK.
Reaching the peak of Kopala. Catch Flava TV on Topstar channel 119 and download the Flava application.